Hi, it's really bright, so if I'm like this the entire time, I apologize. It's just I want this to be as like bright as possible, but not like, I don't know what I'm even saying. Gosh, it's like 66 degrees. It's the middle of January. Yay, we're gonna die soon from global warming. Anyways, hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Hafeezat. I am a college student here in the Northeast, and I am a YouTuber. I don't know. I don't want to call myself a YouTuber because like I haven't been really doing well with it, but I'm trying, I'm trying. My main focus is lifestyle and current events. And I try to incorporate both within one another in order to like promote diversity and promote basic understanding of what's happening in the world, things like that. And in case you didn't catch what my title was, I was saying, is Freshman 15 real for everybody? And you're gonna be thinking, Hafeezat, are you about to talk about your diet for like the next 15 minutes? No, I'm not. I am going to instead be talking about the idea of food insecurity and why college students should definitely pay attention to it, because oftentimes these type of situations, they are treated as something abstract, as if it's not something that's happening to them, when in reality it's happening to a lot of people who are exactly like them. So I definitely think that this is a topic that should be discussed. Not only that, but somebody actually requested that I talk about this video, so shout out to you. You know who you are. I appreciate you, and we're just gonna get right into it. Okay, so I did like the AE lock on my phone to lower the brightness, like for y'all. For me, it's still very bright, like the sun's literally like coming right here right now. Yeah, so hopefully that looks a bit better. If not, we're just gonna deal with it. At least my face is visible. At least my face is visible. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. Basically, to be food insecure means that you do not have access to basic nutrients and food that you need in order to live like a healthy, sustainable life. Rather, you might be considered to be living in a food desert, or you simply just don't have the means to obtain proper food, and you have to kind of just deal with what you have around you. In order to combat this, a lot of cities and countries these days have been like making more communal efforts to bring fresh produce to people. So community gardens, for example, oftentimes there might be a vacant lot in a city, in an urban area typically, and they will convert that vacant lot into a garden for the community, for anybody to come and either purchase fruits and vegetables and other produce for like low cost, or to just come and take whatever they need for free. That's for another day. Right now we're going to be just talking about how recently the Trump administration has decided to cut SNAP benefits. As always, I have my notebook with my notes, so like if you see me looking down, you know the deal. But basically what SNAP is, it is the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, and it's more commonly known, or was formerly known, as food stamps. So like if you saw jokes about like getting food stamps and like taking them to the market or whatever, like that's where it comes from. But now they don't use food stamps anymore. Instead, you get an EBT card, and that card is like prepaid with money for the month for you to get groceries, and you have like restrictions on what you can use the card for. So you can only use them for like proper groceries, maybe toiletries, I believe. Not too sure about the toiletries part, but like you can't buy like alcohol with the EBT card. So like the general goal is for you to get like the fruits, veggies, and other nutrients that you need in order to eat. The only concern that I have with SNAP is the idea that you have to be at a certain level of like making money per year in order to qualify for it. So if you like go over that number by maybe like a couple hundred, then you're no longer qualified. And I find that to be a bit absurd, because a couple hundred might seem a lot to them, but it's actually not that much when you really think about it, when it comes to like bills, phone, electricity, all of those things. So that's my only qualm with it, but it does benefit like millions of Americans. Currently, there are 9.5 million families with children that are on SNAP, and it is limited to those who fall under a certain level around the poverty line, like I said. So the Trump administration recently approved of a new rule that would cut SNAP benefits for, like I said, nearly 700,000 Americans. And this is basically what they claim is to promote employment amongst those who are going to be affected. So those who are going to be affected are able-bodied people who are able to work, who are currently not working. And they say, okay, we take these benefits away from them. That means they're going to be more inclined to want to work in order to either gain these benefits back or gain a life in which they won't need these benefits at all. And I just find it absurd, because it's like, you can't do that. Like, you literally cannot do that. Like, people literally need this stuff. They need these things in order to like survive. You know, it's not just a matter of like, oh, I'm gonna take this away so you can start working. No, that's not going to be a direct consequence of them doing so. And I use consequence in a neutral term, not necessarily negatively, just the effect of what's happening. It puts a stigma on poor people, the idea that poor people are in their position because they are lazy, because they are unproductive, things of that nature, when there's so many different things that happen within our systems that create poor populations. You know, we claim ourselves to be such a great nation, but we have a large, poor, homeless population. And to take away things that help these populations just goes to show that priorities aren't necessarily where they're supposed to be for this country. Again, that's another video, because I could go all day talking about priorities of the US, because they are not there. They are not where they're supposed to be. Or maybe they are there. Maybe they were designed to be there, and that's not okay. So we need to talk about that. But I digress. According to articles that I've read, and everything will be linked down in the description box, those who are at risk are low-wage workers and those in retail/food service, because they don't necessarily make a lot of money, so they most likely will be at risk to be losing their benefits. Not only that, but the reason why I want to talk about this and why I mentioned freshman 15 in my title is because college students are affected too, whether it's their families or whether it's themselves directly affected. College students go hungry. This is not an abstract issue. This is literally happening day to day in every single campus across the United States. According to the Government Accountability Office, they concluded that 1/3 of students do not have access to proper meals or proper food. That's 33%. And for example, right, you have a campus that has 30,000 students. 10,000 of those 30,000 students, according to this report, show that they do not have access to proper meals or meals at all. Not only that, but many college students themselves are not necessarily able to receive SNAP benefits, even if they might need these benefits, which is really unfortunate as well. SNAP has been designed to be a bit too confusing for people to comprehend when they're looking for whether or not they can qualify and receive these benefits. Why? Like, why aren't you making yourself as accessible as possible for these people in order to literally just eat? Like, food is a basic human right. You cannot function without food, which is another thing. Like, they say that this is supposed to help with unemployment, but if I'm hungry, the last thing I'm thinking about is going to job interviews. I'm going to be thinking about where am I going to get my next meal, and that's most likely what's going to happen. In terms of college students and students who are around the college age, most able-bodied students who are 18 and up who are enrolled at least half-time are not eligible for SNAP. Most. There are requirements such as being on public assistance or working 20 hours a week that may allow you to be eligible, but that isn't the case for everyone. And I found out that only 4 in 10 students are eligible who are eligible for SNAP are actually enrolled. So it goes back to the idea of lack of accessibility when it comes to SNAP, because if 60% of students who are eligible to receive it don't even know that they can enroll for it, that's a problem. You know, that number should not be that large. And all these requirements that they put on you in order for you to be eligible is really, really tolling on one's personal well-being. Like me, myself, I didn't even work up to 20 hours a week this semester, and I was drained as heck. I was tired. I did not want to do anything. For those who are working 20 plus hours or more, it's probably even harder for them. So to require that students have to work 20 hours a week, and it's getting darker. Okay, the sun's going. Sorry for the change in lighting, but the sun's not as harsh anymore, so I just like turned down the lock that I put on. As I was saying, to require students to work 20-hour work weeks in order to just get food benefits, like I find that to be blasphemous. Like, why would you do that to us? You already have us going to school for so many hours a week. We have homework, we have projects, we have assignments, we have lives to live. I really shouldn't have to just, you know, like sacrifice myself just to eat. And especially when you're a college student, it's very hard to gain access to groceries and whatnot. Most like on-campus housing, they don't have like kitchens or anything like that that you can use, so you can't necessarily cook for yourself. You might have a microwave, so you might be able to microwave food, but you can't just be eating microwavable food. And you can eat the food at the dining halls, but the dining hall food's not always the best, so people not necessarily want to do that, so they'll probably go out and buy food. But not everybody has money to go out and buy food. Not everybody has the ability to go drive to Trader Joe's or to Whole Foods. You know, here at Temple, like we have like Fresh Grocer, like that's our known grocery store. But even then, the prices at Fresh Grocer, to be honest, compared to the prices that I've seen back home, should not be that high. But they know that because we're college students, that we're going to pay for whatever they give us because we want to have these fresh groceries, which is really unfortunate. Philly's considered a food desert because in certain parts of Philly, there's not much access to groceries within a certain like mile radius. So that impacts not only the residents, but it also impacts like the college students that go here. So you'll either find them eating at the dining hall, like I said, or they'll just be eating ramen, you know. And we joke about, you know, haha, broke college student only eats ramen. But that's the reality for a lot of college students who genuinely do not have the means to eat. You know, I seem to be talking in circles a little bit, but when I saw this headline that Trump was, you know, cutting back on SNAP benefits, I was like, why? I literally was like, this man cannot do any more things that will just be bad, and then he does something that's even worse, and then it just escalates. And at this point, I shouldn't even be surprised anymore that he would do something like this, because he's actually been talking about cutting back on these benefits for a long while. However, hope is not necessarily lost. You know, there are things that we can do, and that's what I'm also trying to start to implement a bit more within my content. These call to actions that I could like have you guys do, because you know, it's really easy to just talk about everything that's going wrong in the world, but it's even easier to talk about what's going wrong in the world, but then also giving out instructions or giving out advice or support as to how we can, you know, help with that. So my first thing is to just destigmatize food insecurity as a whole. You know, no one should feel guilty for needing food. No one should feel guilty for having to ask somebody to help them out with groceries once in a while. No one should feel guilty for having to receive these benefits, because food is a basic right, is a basic human right that everyone should have proper access to, first and foremost. Done. So definitely just try to destigmatize that, not only within your mind, but like around your friend group and around the area that you live in. The next thing that I would say is to definitely donate to your local food pantries wherever you can find them. It takes a quick Google search to figure out, you know, where you can drop things off in order to donate to people, and people will go to those food pantries so they'll be able to get them. If you want for college students, you can even implement something on your campus. So here at Temple, we have two initiatives that I know of. We have Swipes for Philadelphia, and then we also have the Cherry Pantry. So the Cherry Pantry is here on campus, and basically every student on campus, regardless if you need the food or not, you get a certain amount of points, and you can use those points to get toiletries and groceries and non-perishables from the Cherry Pantry. And the Cherry Pantry runs like solely on donations, so it's imperative that students, when they come each year, that they donate to the Cherry Pantry throughout the year, so that way it can continue to run. So if you have any like non-perishables, Temple students, and you're not eating them anytime soon, I see that Kraft mac and cheese in your pantry, I see it, you're not eating it, give it to the Cherry Pantry, they will take it. Swipes for Philadelphia is the idea that the leftover swipes that people don't use in their meal plans throughout the week will go towards feeding those who are less fortunate, those who are not able to access food. And I think that's a beautiful way to do so, because oftentimes I might not use my entire meal plan, and I would be very grateful to know that people are being able to use that money that goes into my meal plan to help themselves get food. Because you know what, if I'm not using it, I'd rather not let it go to waste. If you can't donate food per se, you can donate money as well to like food banks and local food pantries. And you can also donate your time. You know, time is money, like people like to say. You can donate your time to help feeding those who are less fortunate. I've had the pleasure of doing so a couple of times since I've been here in school, and I like to do it whenever I can. And it's not only like, it's not about you, so it shouldn't necessarily be about reward, but it is rewarding. But not only that, you know that you have helped somebody, you know, be a bit less hungry, you know, for whether it's that day or for like the next couple of days. This affects us more than we think. College students across America, like I said, they are going hungry. Not only that, but there are a lot of them that are homeless, but they are trying to obtain degrees. They are trying to obtain a better life for themselves. And we really should raise more awareness about these types of people, so that way their stories don't go untold, and that they are able to finally gain the recognition and the help that they truly deserve. So raise awareness, whether it be on your social media, whether it be amongst your friends, with your family members. You can go out with your friends to help volunteer, things of that nature. You and your friends could make a club, or you could just be like, hey, one day I want to collect money, I want to raise money, and I want to send it to a certain organization just because I want to do that. You know, sometimes I see people for their birthdays, instead of accepting gifts, they will accept monetary donations, or they will accept donations of like food or clothes or shoes or whatever that they want to donate to other people. And I think that's really selfless. So yeah. Okay, that was a lot. My mouth is dry now. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something new from this video, and I hope that you really try to implement any of the suggestions that I gave to you in your day-to-day life, or simply just share this video with anybody who you might think wants to hear it, or share it on your social media so more and more people know about it. All of my socials are down below, so if you want to follow me, feel free to follow me as well. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe, share, everything. Do it all. Subscribe, please subscribe. And I will see you soon. I will see you very soon. Bye-bye.